Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our videos. We are from group 8. My name is Arka, and then my two other friends is Azka and Thomas. This is our ISS called IT Infrastructure Security. First is the definition of the IT infrastructure security. IT infrastructures refers to the composite hardware, software, network resources, and service required for the existence, operation, and management of an enterprise IT environment. IT infrastructures consist of all components that somehow play a role in overall IT and IT-enabled operations. It can be used for internal business operations or developing customer IT or business solutions. Next part is the IT infrastructure components. First is hardware. This is the physical part of an IT infrastructure and comprise all the elements necessary to support the basic functioning of the machines and devices constituting the infrastructure itself. Servers, computers, storage and data centers, switches, hubs and routers, as well as all other equipment such as the power, cooling, cabling and dedicated rooms. Second is software. It refers to all the applications used by the enterprise both for internal purposes and to provide its services to customers. Software includes web servers, enterprise resource planning or ERP, customers relationship management or CRM, productivity applications, and the operating system or OS. Next is network. The network part includes all the hardware and software elements necessary to ensure network enablement, internet connectivity, firewall, and security. It ensures that personnel get access to stored and transferred data only from strictly controlled access points to reduce the risk of data theft or damage. Next is middleware. Middleware is human users, such as network administrators or NA, developers, designers, and end users with access to any ID, appliance, or service are also part of an IT infrastructure, specifically with the advent of user-centric IT service development. Next, I'm going to tell you about the function of cybersecurity framework. These five functions were selected because they represent the five primary pillars for a successful and holistic cybersecurity program. They aid organizations in easily expressing their management of cybersecurity risk at high level and enabling risk management decisions. This is the five functions: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. First is identify. Assist in developing an organizational understanding to managing cybersecurity risk to systems, people, assets, data, and capabilities. Understanding the business context, the resources that support critical functions, and the related cybersecurity risks enables an organization to focus and prioritize its efforts, consistent with its risk management strategy and business needs. Next, protect. The protect function outlines appropriate safeguards to ensure the delivery of critical infrastructure service and supports the ability to limit or contain the impact of a potential cybersecurity event. Next, detect defines the appropriate activities to identify the occurrence of a cybersecurity event. The detect function enables timely discovery of cybersecurity events.
Hello, my name is Thomas Ardiansah. I will explain about response. Response is includes appropriate activities to take action regarding a detected cybersecurity incident. The response function supports the ability to contain the impact of a potential cybersecurity incident. And the last one is recover. Identifies appropriate activities to maintain plans for resilience and to restore any capabilities or services that were impaired due to a cybersecurity incident. The recover function supports family recover to normal operation to reduce the impact from a cybersecurity incident. And this is for the facility security planning. Um, Actually, if you can touch it, you can break it. Basically, that is what it's all about when you're considering tackle security control for IT and ICS system. Protecting your IT and ICS system against cyber attacks using logical control does not release you from the obligation to have physical control in place as well. So logical control such as two-factor authentication, firewalls, anti-malware, application whistling, vulnerability scanning, and monitoring, and so on, leave your data and equipment vulnerable to the effect that cycle access can generate. This required to provide security when the system has used. This is known as critical path analysis. Critical path analysis is systematic efforts to identify relationship between critical applications, process, and operations, and all relevant parties. And this is critical safety control. Protecting your IT and HIS system against cyber attacks using logical control does not release you from the obligation to have cycle control in place as well. And then being mirrored data carries and equipment provides attacker with an opportunity to take, change, or destroy them like a cyber attack. This might affect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your data and disrupt your business continuity. And this is for the design cycle security control. To protect cycle assets, the concept of choice is defense in depth. This is a concept used to secure assets through multiple layers of security. If an attacker compromises one layer, they still have to penetrate the additional layer to obtain an asset. This is a Raspberry timeline is a visual aid. A Raspberry, I search for the I search in the Google. This the Raspberry timeline is a visual aid. It shows the resistance time provided by structural security elements, e.g., wall, door, or window. Only after that, attempted intrusion is detected. This is because, if not detected, the attacker could remove the structural element altogether without triggering any response. When designing or defense in depth, the total resistance time provided by all elements between the entry point and the asset should be calculated and compared to the response time of the defender. In the race timeline below, it shows that reconnaissance can be done by the attacker without triggering a response if no surveillance is present. The resistance time provided by the elements is represented by the distance AB, and the attack is first detected at the point C after a large part of the resistance time of the element has been taken away. You can see the picture. And then, while detecting and alarming take only seconds when using electronic sensor and signaling, the response will take much more time to organize before private security or police are on site. It may take as much as 15 minutes. This is represented by the distance of CD. And then we have a site plan. We now enter cycle and technical security control as follows. The first one is fences around the yard, reinforced walls, doors, and windows around the offices, reinforced walls, doors, and windows around the ICT, IT, and WMS. Cameras in the yard. So the side plan is taking the IT room as an example. You can see the picture of set plane 2. The resistance time is now defined as the resistance time of the wall around of the offices plus that of the wall around the IT room. Assuming that the cameras in the yard have built in the in video content analysis, the attacker will be discovered after crossing the fence. And the resistance time will therefore be the total resistance time available for both walls surrounding the IT room without the outside cameras. This will be limited to just the wall surrounding the IT room, as the wall around the offices could be passed without being detected. And then for your info, European standard that can be used to select and describe cycle security control can, among others, be found in the series EN 1627 to EN 1630. Resistance classes relating to tools such used by attacker provide the resistance times in minutes for technical, which is electronic control such as sensor and signaling equipment. The EN 50131 and 50136 series provide advance along the same lines. And then using the standard European together require a careful approach as the definition used in the standard do always meet. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Azka Aulia, and then I will explain to you how to secure software infrastructure, and then how to secure network infrastructure, and last, the advantages and disadvantages of IT infrastructure security. Okay, first, how to secure software infrastructure. Malware consists of two words, namely malicious and software. Basically, malware means malicious software that can be disruptive program code or anything designed to perform malicious activity on the system. Okay, this is the way how to secure software infrastructure. First, avoid using pirate, crack, and null programs. Second, always update the operating system, application software, and browsers that we use. Third, install antivirus such as Avast, Kaspersky, Norton, and etc. And make sure it is always updated. Four, activate the Windows firewall if you are still not able to use zone alarm free firewall, and etc. Okay, this is the way how to secure network infrastructure. First, use a layered defense. Employ multiple complementary approaches to security enforcement at various points in the network, therefore removing single points of security failure. Second, clearly define security zones and user roles. Use firewall, filter, and access control capabilities to enforce network access policies between these zones using the least privilege concept. Third, use security tools to protect from threats and guarantee performance of critical applications. Ensure firewalls support new multimedia applications and protocols, including SIP and H.3 to 3.3. 4. Protect the network management information. Ensure that virtual LANs, VLAN, and other security mechanisms IPsec SNMPv3, SSH, and TLS are used to protect network devices and element management systems, so only authorized personnel have access. Okay, this is the advantages IT infrastructure security. First, it can protect your business. Second, this will allow your employees to serve the internet as and when they need, and ensure that they aren't at risk from potential threats. Third, denies spyware. And four, a great cybersecurity solution such as Fortinet's FortiGate firewall can prevent this spyware from taking effect and ensure that your employees' actions remain private and confidential within your workplace. Okay, this is the disadvantages IT infrastructure security. It will be costly for average users. And second, firewalls can be difficult to configure correctly. Third, need to keep updating the new software in order to keep security to update. And the last, make systems slower than before. Okay, thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.